Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time on this channel, please do well to like and subscribe. On this channel, I talk about my day-to-day life. I talk about life as a Nigerian in the United Kingdom, and basically life as a student in the United Kingdom. So on this particular video today, I'll be talking about my experience with the airline I used when I was coming from my home country, Nigeria, to the United Kingdom. Something that actually, pushed me to do this particular video was the fact that when I wanted to make, and when I want to make, sorry, when I wanted to make a decision about what airline to go with, looking at the budget I had at hand, I had come online to make some kind of research on YouTube, and I had found very little information about this particular airline. So I just think I should talk about my experiences so that someone else who's looking out for the kind of information I was looking out for can see this video and it can help them make informed decisions. All right, so let's get down to it. Yeah, so when I was coming from my home country, Nigeria, I had used EgyptAir. Okay, so right now I'm not going to talk about if it was good or if it was bad. I'm just going to talk about my experiences and let you decide if it was a good experience or not. So after I had gotten my visa approved, I didn't actually book a flight before my visa was approved. So I had gotten my visa before I went ahead to book a flight. But before then, I had been making, going online, looking for information about the various airlines and options I could use. As much as I would have loved to fly with British Airways, but I was working, or rather, we were working on a budget. So I had a budget. We had a budget. Why do I keep saying I? My husband is good. So we had a budget, and I wanted us to stick to that budget. So one of the first things we did was looking at the options we had. Okay, we had this options, and we had airline A, airline B, airline C. So I came online and I searched for each of these airlines to see what the flight experiences of others who have traveled from Africa, particularly, what they had to say and what it looked like. So after all the, research, I said, okay, let me stick with EgyptAir. I only found, I think, a video, but the person was just talking about the flight experience and all that. So I said, okay, I can make a decision based on this. So I decided to go on other social media platforms and ask questions. One of the reasons why I was so eager to ask questions was the fact that some of these airlines had layovers, some had stopovers, technical stopovers, and so on and so forth. So for EgyptAir, the one I wanted to book had 19-hour layover. That was a pretty long time. 19 hour is like a day. So that's like 5 hours away from 24 hours. I was like, okay, so for 19 hours, what will I be at an airport doing? The other options I had stopovers in like 2-3 countries. And some of these airlines that would require me to stop at 2-3 countries needed me to get a transit visa, and that was another route I was not willing to take, because it's going to cost me more money. It's going to cost me some other procedures and processes that I was not I was really not interested in getting to know what it's all about. So I just needed something that I do not need to get another visa on. So when I realized that, okay, for EgyptAir, I did not need a transit visa, all I had to deal with was the layover. I said, okay, fine. How do I deal with the layover? 19 hours. Will I just be sitting at the airport? I mean, so I asked the lady, and she was like, okay, for 19 hours, you'll be lodged actually. Oh, wow, I'll be lodged? will I will I have to pay for it? Now, please don't get me wrong. It's not a big deal to pay for your hotel room if you get to an airport and there's a layover. But remember, I was working on a budget, and aside working on a budget, I didn't want to, just jump on an airline and then get to the airport, and then I realized that, oh, I have to pay for my hotel room. Oh, I need to convert my naira to certain, and all that drama. I just wanted to know, okay, from step A to step B to step C. I'm just trying to ensure that everything I'm doing, I know what the next thing to expect is. As much as, yes, you might not get the whole picture, but I'm trying to ensure that I cover up for all the uncertainties that might happen. And then whatever happens that's not within, that should be that it's not within my power. So when she told me, you're going to be lodged, will I pay? She said, no, it's what? You don't know. I mean, so that gave me another level of confidence to decide, okay, fine, EgyptAir is the airline I'm going to go with. I asked her, okay, how was the airline, the flight experience in general? She was like, it was okay. They were nice, they were this and all that. I said, oh, that's fine. Thank you. So I decided that I was going to go with EgyptAir and one other airline. That was like the second option. So when our visa was approved and we got our hands on the visa, like it got to us, I decided to, we decided to proceed to booking our flights. Now, please, another disclaimer here, don't get me wrong. It's okay if you want to book your flight before you get your visa. But for me, I just felt, what's the essence of that for me? What's the essence of jumping the gun? So I just said, okay, let me get it first, and then we'll proceed to, booking our flights. So when it came, I decided that, oh, now is the time to book the flight. So one thing I'm going to advise is, if you are intending to start up or, do this Japa thing, start on time. Don't try to, okay, wait. If you're intending to do this Japa thing and you want to do it on a budget, start on time. It will help you cut down on some unnecessary expenses that if you had the time, you won't have to pay for them. Do you get? So that's my own advice. Just start on time. Give yourself ample time to just, go through the processes. But if you have the money to just, push everything, what are we saying? Just just go ahead. But that's it. So when I booked the flight, I booked it 1 month ahead. Yeah, I know that might not be enough time for some people. Some booked 2 months ahead, and if you book 2 months ahead, you're definitely getting a good offer, a very good offer. For me, that booked a month ahead, I got quite a reasonable good offer. And during the time I booked, it was the period, hot cake period. People were really jackbuying and all that. So 1 month ahead meant that I could really get a pretty good deal. You get, and for 1 week ahead of when I booked, it was like paying for a flight ticket was about times two of what I paid for 1 month ahead. So are you trying to see the difference now? So for me, working on a budget, for me and my husband working on a budget, that was like the best bet. Just book 1 month ahead. So long you still had that time. You understand? It wasn't running late for resumption at school. So yeah, that fit into my that fit into my plan. So now I'm not going to bore you with, the whole drama that happened before my flight at Abuja. Actually, I flew from Abuja, but I wasn't staying in Abuja. I stayed in a different city. So that means I had to travel from wherever it is I was to Abuja. So I had gotten to Abuja, I think, a day before, got settled, Abuja is my city now. So just walked around, saw a few friends, got some few last minute, necessities that we might have forgotten, and then On the day of the flight, I think my flight was for 2 p.m. on a Sunday. So we left the our hotel room very quite early. Yeah, so that in case there's anything we need to fix, or we've forgotten anything, or other thing, we could get it sorted out. We'll have ample time to do that. So we got to the airport. It was a pretty smooth check-in. What did I want to check? Check your bags. As usual, that we Nigerians when we are travel with enough food stuff. We carry what when you're entitled to 23 kg times two. 123 kg is for clothes and all that. One is for food stuff. So the clothes bags were really not checked like that. It just passed through the scanner and all that. It was the food bag they needed to check what was this. Okay, so it was what's there now? Bring it. What is this? Is there? It's Okazi. What's this? It's bitter leaf and all that. But it was properly labeled. So if you're intending to travel with foodstuff, just ensure they are properly labeled. If you are not the one who packed the foodstuff, let whoever packed it label it. So when you ask, okay, what is this thing? You can say what it is. I think that period I had like some spices, so my mother-in-law had helped me with the whole packing and all that. So I had labeled it properly. This one is pepper soup spice. This one is just general spice and all that. So when I was asked, what is it, I was able to mention. So the drama now, our usual drama. And that happened, and then we got our bags and we moved. So we got to the EgyptAir stand. We got there and then we got seated. Just ensure that everything was okay and all that. So when it was time for us to start checking in, like at the, what did they even call that place? Like after they finished checking your bag, you've now gotten to where they would scan kgs and all that, check your documents and all that. So they checked, and were credit. Well, we were just let's say permitted. We were cleared. That's the English. We were cleared to move in. So we proceeded to the inner carcass. So that's like, at this point, we're no longer with our bags. We're just with our hand luggages, our laptops and all that. So I just had a few things to do on my laptop, and so that was it. And then one thing I liked about my own flight was I wasn't delayed. We got on the flight when we were supposed to get on the flight. The journey started. I've really not been on a long flight before, but yeah, that's a story for another day. I enjoyed my flight with EgyptAir. They gave us hot jollof, but there was food, there was tea, and so on. One of the flight attendants was just very jovial, had some kind of discussion. Oh, how are you? How this and all that. Yeah, so it was just a pretty beautiful experience. Although the flight that took us from Nigeria to Egypt was a bit clustered. I think I mentioned that in my previous video, but still, it was okay. We got to Egypt after, I think, about 6 hours after, and then we started waiting at the airport. We were asked to wait. We got to Egypt around, I think, 8 p.m. in the night, and we asked to just wait for them to arrange our hotel rooms and all that. So a bus came to pick us from the airport to their hotel. What's the name of this hotel? I really can't place my head around it, but it's a big hotel. I think there's a branch in Nigeria. I think somewhere in Owerri or Abuja. I really can't remember that. But we were, about 2 hours later, we were picked up from the airport to this hotel. And so for we who were a couple, we were assigned to a room. But if you're an individual, you're assigned to one room. We got in. Okay, before we were given the rooms, actually, when we got to the hotel, we were asked to have dinner, so there was food. Yeah. So if you are someone who enjoys intercontinental dishes and you get very, you get acquainted to new food pretty quickly. You are going to enjoy this travel experience. So I just tried my best because, you know, as a as a Nigerian babe now, there was no eba and all that. But with all the chop we've had on the flight, I really didn't feel, that hungry. And so those who wanted to eat ate, and after that we moved into our hotel. So we're given the keys, we got in. The hotel was pretty comfortable. Yeah, there was everything that a hotel room needed to have. It did have it. So while we were going there, I told us that, okay, if you want to tour, the city the next day, in the morning the next day, you pay a certain fee, and you join the tourist or so. I was very, very interested in that, but by the time I slept and I woke up the next day, they had already gone. I woke up pretty late, so I was able to join with that, with the group of people who wanted to do sightseeing. In the morning, we came out for, I think I missed breakfast too. Yeah, because I was pretty exhausted, and I really wanted that sleep. So I missed breakfast, but there was breakfast. So before our flight, now, the beauty of the 19 hours, after getting to the airport, that was when, so if you got to the airport by 8, and then, the whole sleep and everything, the whole shenanigans, by 3 the next day, or a bit 2, we were ready to move. So it wasn't, at the end of the day, and then there was the hotel room, do you get, where you can just still go back and relax. So I really didn't feel that pressure I thought I was going to feel. So lunch, we were called to come have lunch, and it was a beautiful experience. There was, different kind of dessert, cakes, and oh my, oh my. So we had lunch, and voila, it was time to move again. So we got on the next flight going to the UK. Yeah, and we got checked in. The bus came to carry us from the hotel again to the airport, and then went through the. Did we even go through all that stressful? Okay, we just passed through some clearance spots where they had to, just scan your bag. Basically, what you're still carrying is your hand luggage. We didn't get to see our bags till we got to the UK. So, oh my, scan your bags and just ensure you're not carrying any contraband and all that. The people of Egypt they were nice. The staffs were nice. We took some pictures with them. They even encouraged you take pictures, all that. Yeah. So we got on the flight to the UK. Oh, how many times am I going to say this? So on this second flight, food is not a problem now. So we had food. There was enough to drink and all that. If you, and all of that inside the airplane shenanigans. So finally we got to the UK around 9. Yeah, around 9 p.m. And that was when the whole started having changing weather. Yeah. So before I forget, we were given blankets, yeah, to cover up in the plane. So for someone like me who was pretty cold, any slight change in the weather, I start feeling cold. So that helped. And when I was leaving, I just left it behind. And so when we got to the UK border, all right. So I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to help you decide whether flying with EgyptAir is a good decision or not. So until we see you again in the next video, keep being good. Love you guys. Bye.